Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Tuesday today, and my regular day for sketch challenge is Tuesdays. I've switched up the time a little bit. I used to go live at 2 o'clock Pacific, but on Tuesdays now I have either a meeting or I'm starting to participate in a card making scrapbooking group where I go quilting. And so switching up the time to be a little bit later so that I can get home and I still have time to go live with my sketch. As I've said to everybody before, the sketch challenge that I do every week is, I think, my favorites live that I do. So I don't want to miss out. So I moved it. Hopefully people will be able to participate. And if not, you can watch it on the replay. So the sketch that I'm going to do every week, I actually post the sketch like I have done over the last few weeks as I've been away, so that if you miss it or you miss the measurements as I go through, you'll be able to go on to either my Facebook group page or Instagram and find the sketch. Hey, Mary, welcome. It's late for you. Goodness. 8 hours. Oh, it's midnight. Goodness, I can't stay awake that late these days. I'm still catching up with my jet lag. All right, so if you joined me last night on my free card making class that I do every other week on a Monday night at 7 o'clock Pacific, you probably will recognize this sketch because this is the one we used. And it's not my sketch at all. It's one that we did at Onstage in the after hours event that was held on Thursday night. And so I'll show you the card we made that night. I really love this sketch. Changed it up just slightly to do it. And there's all sorts of ways that you can make this. So I'm going to make it just a little bit different than I did last night and different than we did at Onstage after hours. All right, I'm going to switch over and we'll get started. Yeah, it's midnight. Yes, gosh, late for you. All right, here's the sketch. So if you were you went to Onstage and participated in the After Hours event, which was an add-on event on the Thursday night, you may recognize this. So it's a card base of 5.5 by 8.5. Now I've said 4.25 by 11. So if you do that 4.25 by 11, it will be a booklet fold, but will be long and narrow. And then 3 pieces of cardstock. They can be all the same color, all different colors. I'm going to use all different colors today. Last night I used all the same color. You could use DSP, lots of ways to do this. 1.5 by 4. So this is a little bit different. So this is where I've changed it up a little bit from the sketch that we used at Onstage, but it's pretty close. And then a piece of cardstock that is 3/4 of an inch by 5. And then a sentiment layer that's about a 1/2 inch by 4. Now, if your sentiment isn't as narrow as a 1/2 inch, you might want to make that a little bit bigger. And you can decorate it however you want. If you wanted to add some die cuts or, you know, some other things, you can absolutely do that. But like I said, I've kept it pretty simple. Now, let me show you a couple of the cards. So this is the card we made at Onstage. I love this card. We all got to choose one of 3 bundles. So I chose the one that's called Citrus Blooms. I don't know if you can see. So we stamped that on each of these. These are 3 of the new in colors. Pumpkin. I was going to say pumpkin pie. And I know that's wrong because we have pumpkin pie. Somebody will correct me and tell me what that is. Actually, I have the paper here. Let me... Peach pie. It's not called pumpkin pie at all. It's called peach pie. There we go, getting it right. Pretty in Pink. So yes, Pretty in Pink is back. And then Petunia Pop. So those are the 3 colors. Now my pieces that I gave you the measurements for are slightly bigger, longer than these. And then a piece that went across here that we did some sponging. Yes, peach. And then the sentiment layer and some twine. These are the new in color shimmer dots. They are so pretty. I love this card, like I said. Now this is the one I made last night on my class. So quite different looking than this, although the same layout. Again, mine are longer. My pieces are longer. And I used the Magnolia Mood stamp that I stamped on each of these. I did some sponging across there in Smoky Slate and This is Petal Pink. And then I used, and I'm going to use this again, this is the Sweetly Scripted stamp set. I absolutely love this stamp set. I love the long cursive writing that it has. And this is an online exclusive. So I'm going to use that again. So that was my card last night. Again, quite different. So we'll see what it looks like today. I'm using some others. So today I decided I was going to kind of be in an Easter mood. These colors are Easterish for me. So I've got a piece of thick basic white. Hey, Roberta. Thick basic white cardstock. So I'm going to score it. So this is 5.5 by 8.5, and we'll score it at 4 1/4. And as always, fold into the mountain or the raised line. Find my bone folder and use my bone folder. Okay, so I've got that pretty basic. Now I'm not going to do much stamping except for the sentiment. I went ahead, I cut out 3 pieces of cardstock in Fresh Freesia, Bubble Bath, and Gorgeous Grape. So quite Eastery, springy. And I went ahead and embossed them using, these are 2 of the new embossing folders. Well, it's a package of embossing folders called Fun Patterns. It's another online exclusive. And if you, can you see, there's one that's flowers. And then there's one that is kind of a diamond, kind of hard to see. So I did 2 that were the flowers and then 1 that was the diamond. So we'll just glue those on. Like I said, there are all sorts of ways that you can do this. You could use designer series paper. You could do it like I did, like we did it on stage, and then last night where we did some stamping. All the same color, switch it up. All right, so when I try to get 3 pieces of cardstock aligned more or less the same, I usually try and start with the middle. Don't always work. And I use liquid glue because it gets into the nooks and crannies when I've done some embossing. So those embossing folders are small. And I do like it as opposed to, we talked about this last night. I like them closer together than apart. So, oops. Yeah, so those, that embossing folder, gosh, I'm dropping this. Those embossing folders are small, and they work beautifully in the mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Maybe my nails inspired my colors today. I don't know. All right, there we go. So that's the there we go. You can kind of see the patterns. Just really pretty patterns. All right, so I went ahead and I cut a piece of basic white. I'm not gonna do any sponging. That one's just gonna go across the top. I am gonna use embossing folders. Tell ya, this jet lag. Sometimes I can't put 2 words together. I'm using dimensionals. Already used the embossing folders. And I'm just gonna put that across like that. Okay, now I've got a piece. I decided to use a piece of Fresh Freesia, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment in Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to use, what shall I use? I really like that A Million Thanks. So I think I'm going to use that again, same as I used last night. I don't know that I cleaned that stamp last night when we finished. So let's just make sure my stamp. My piece isn't that long, which is why I've got it hanging out over the edge, because I cut this a little narrower. So let's see if I can actually get it straight on here. No, I will. Oh, not bad at all. So if I'd wanted it longer and to have those long tails, showing up a little bit more, then I should have cut it a little longer, but I think I'm okay with it the way it is. So before we glue that on, I pulled out, this is the end. So the end colors are going away. So our existing end colors, Orchid Oasis, Starry Sky, Parakeet Party, Sweet Sorbet. There's one more. Tahitian Tide, I think that's it, are going away. It's kind of sad, but this is the end. This is the last of the Orchid Oasis ribbon or metallic twine. So I'm going to just tie a little bow with it. No, I have enough of that, enough to do that. And then I'll cut. Oops. My scissors are gluey and I need to clean them off. So sometimes they cut and sometimes they don't cut. So I use a glue dot. Put that on. Now I haven't put that on, so I'm going to glue that down like that. And then, oopsie, not upside down. Then I'm going to put this over. And I'm going to make this intentionally make it off kilter, if that makes any sense. So let's use the mini dimensionals on this. It's probably big enough for the regular size, but so don't forget to, if you're making a card or a project using the sketches or any of your projects, don't forget to share them on my Facebook group. I love to see what you're working on. And I haven't done the draw. I usually do a draw each month for those who have shared and send you some happy mail. I haven't done that yet. I'm a little behind in March. March is almost over. Actually, I haven't done February's, so you still have time in March. So make sure you share your projects. These are the purple, what are they called? Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. These are carried over, which was really exciting to see. And so I'm going to use these. They come in 3 colors. There's 2 shades, so the Highland Heather and the Gorgeous Grape, and then Berry Burst. But I think I'm going to use the 2 shades of purple. I think I've got it. There we go. They come in 2 sizes. So we'll do one of that and then one over here like that. And then I don't have anything on the inside of the card, but I will have to, lots of room for writing, and maybe I'll find something maybe I'll do another piece of the embossed cardstock on the inside. So there we go. So another version of this sketch that I absolutely love, and I can't wait to play with it even more. So there we go. Those are the 3 versions of the sketch that I have. So as I said, this sketch will go live on social media in about 15 minutes time if you missed any of the measurements. All right. Also, I talked about the retiring of the in colors. If you have ink pads and don't have the re-inkers for them, you probably want to order them sooner than later, and hopefully they haven't sold out. That's what happens, is as soon as they announce the new in colors, everybody stocks up on the old in colors. So if you love any of those in colors that are retiring, make sure you get them before they're gone. And make sure you have a re-inker for your ink pad, because the last thing you want is an ink pad that you can't use because it's dried up and you can't get the re-inker for it. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Now, tomorrow I will be live at 2 o'clock Pacific. It is my technique. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but stay tuned. Come join me at 2 o'clock and we'll make a card together, and I'll show you a technique. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great evening. Happy stamping. Bye.